Welcome everyone to this deep release yin yoga practice with me today. I really love the sunlight coming through as well, as you can see in the back of the wall. Before we begin though, I just want to share something with you. If you enjoy this style of yin, I teach also a live virtual class every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. GMT. It's a deeper, slower space to really unwind and stay consistent. You can book through the link below, and I would love to see you there. This is a fascia-focused yin practice combined with subtle chakra awareness. Fascia is a connective tissue that wraps around everything in our body. So follow me into coming into laying down. Bend your knees, feet mat width apart. And you can rest your arms to the side of the torso with the palms facing upward. Close your eyes and take a slow breath in through your nose and an exhale through the mouth. And again, nice deep breath in through the nose and a slow deeper exhale through the mouth. So in yin yoga we're holding poses for 2 or 5 minutes. Today we're going to be holding them for around 3 minutes. So this is all about a practice of introspection, a practice of coming back to yourself, coming back to that stillness and to safety. So let the ground here hold you and whisper internally, I am safe, to soften. I am safe, to soften. And at this point now starting to breathe a little bit deeper, so bringing the breath back to play and starting to move your feet, extend your legs all the way up and rotating your ankles a few times, one way and then the opposite direction. Then bringing the knees into the chest and starting to make a few rolls here with your knees all the way to the side and in. Just a nice way here to awaken the body, the lower body, and introduce some movement again. So know that yin yoga can be quite a hard thing for the mind. In my opinion, it's one of the most difficult yoga practices ever exist, because we don't work just with the body, but more with our mind. Okay, from here now slowly roll up to seated. We're going to grab hold of a bolster, so making sure that you have it in close proximity to yourself. And then from here we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So extend your legs forward and bringing the bolster in between your legs. So you can keep your legs apart from each other. You don't have to lock the knee joints either. And then resting your forehead onto the bolster. So essentially you're either hugging the bolster here, or you can also choose to bring it to the length of your legs and fold over it. So whichever variation you're choosing to take, note that they're both offering the exact same benefits. And then let your head here feel heavy. As I said, knees can be bent. This is not about flexibility. From the soles of your feet, through your calves, your hamstrings, your spine, all the way to the back of your skull. This is one continuous fascia line. When you hold stress, this line tightens. When you push through life, this line braces. So breathe into the back of the body. Remember that fascia remodels under slow, sustainable load without any force. Ask yourself gently, where am I gripping in my life? Not to judge, simply to notice. Softly whisper to yourself, I am supported. I am supported. And repeat these affirmations silently within you. Starting to breathe a little bit deeper now, awakening the body, preparing for the body to move. And then when you're ready, lifting the head, placing the bolster to the side. And then we're going to bring the right foot in, into a half butterfly. Now placing the bolster back onto the forehead if you want here to make it a little bit more restorative. This inner thigh line connects deeply into the pelvis. And the pelvis is connected to the sacral chakra, our center of flow and emotion. A lot of people hold tension there without realizing. So let your jaw soften, let your belly soften. And ask yourself gently, where am I gripping in my life? Repeat the following affirmation silently here. I release the need to control and trust the natural flow of life. I release the need to control and trust the natural flow of life. Slowly now we're going to release and repeat the same pose on the opposite side. So now bringing your right foot into the inner thigh, softening the forehead onto the bolster once again. Notice if this side of the body, of the posture, tells a different story. Fascia is adaptive. It reshapes according to repetition. The way we sit, the way we stand, the way we brace emotionally. Therefore, we're not stuck, we are patterned, and patterns can change. So let's breathe into the inner thigh here and let the gravity do the work for you. The affirmation you can use for this side of the posture is, I release old holding. I release old holding. Now slowly release from here. And we're going to come into the next position, our dragonfly. So moving from the sacral to the solar plexus. Let's take the legs wide. And here we're going to start to fold forward. Again, you don't have to go too low. You can keep your palms onto the mat in front of you if you need to for the first few seconds. Or perhaps you can support yourself with blocks or even with that same bolster if needed. This area is a deep connective network of the pelvis, the fascia that links your inner thighs, the pelvic floor, the hips and the lower spine. It's a woven hammock inside the ball of your pelvis, if you would like to say so. This is a space that stabilizes you, that carries you, and transfers force between your upper and your lower body. And energetically, this is a ball that holds your power. So when fascia here is rigid, we can feel braced, guarded, disconnected from intuition. But when it softens, energy moves more freely. Breathe into your lower belly. Your solar plexus, your center of will, rests just above this space. And power doesn't come from tension, it comes from alignment. So let's stay here. Allow the breath to expand the pelvic bowl. And repeat the following silently. I am safe to soften. I am safe to soften. Let's release from here now, and we're going to come onto the belly. Probe onto your forearms, and then lift your heart slightly forward. The deep front fascial line runs through the psoas, the diaphragm, and the heart. And this is your core of vulnerability and courage. Fascia in the front of the body tightens when we armor ourselves. So really breathe into your chest, into your ribs, and into the space behind your heart. So instead of pushing into the back bend, think of gently offering your heart forward. And repeat the following affirmation with me silently. I don't need to tense to be strong. I don't need to tense to be strong. Now breathing a little bit deeper here, preparing the body to move. And then when you're ready, we're going to open the elbows to the side, rest your cheek or your forehead under your hands, and move your hips sideways. Now from here, push yourself all the way up. We're transitioning to our next pose. For this one, we're going to need the bolster, so place it across your mat here, across the length of your mat. And then we're going to lay our back on it. bringing the soles of the feet together. And really noticing here the shoulder blades falling apart from each other and melting onto the bolster. This pose is a passive opening for the entire body. After gently strengthening the back line in Sphinx, we now allow the front body to soften. And the fascia across the chest, belly and hips can tighten when we armor ourselves, when we brace emotionally or physically. And here right now, there's nothing to hold, nothing to protect. Just let your breath expand your ribs and feel the space across your collarbones. Feel your belly rise and fall without effort. And affirm quietly, I allow my body to open. I allow my body to open. Beautiful. Okay, now gently starting to release here, bringing the soles of the feet back onto the mat, lifting yourselves up and placing the block to the right side of your mat now. So we're going to roll onto the back again, and we are going to bring the knees all the way on top of the bolster. So this is our spinal twist. If you want, you can also cross the left leg over the right to go a little bit deeper. Extend your arms wide and turn the head to the opposite direction of where the knees are facing. Twists repattern the spiral fascial lines and they reorganize tension. Your heart chakra lives in the center of this spiral. Ask yourself now, what am I still carrying? What story is my body holding? Fascia rehydrates with breath and stillness. And let's repeat the following affirmation silently here. I soften, I trust, I release. Now again, starting to release, moving the legs back to center, the head back to center. And then just bring the bolster over to the other side now. And make yourself comfortable crossing the right leg over the left if you need to. And then laying the legs all the way over the bolster. Turning the head to the opposite direction. Eyes are softened or completely closed. And just checking here for a moment how the side of the body is feeling. How is this lower spine release? How is this side of the story looking like in comparison to the other one? And let's repeat the following affirmation, the last affirmation for today's practice. I don't need tension to be strong. I don't need tension to be strong. Before we come off this pose, let's take a moment to notice how the body feels now. Fascia responds slowly. It responds slowly to time, to the breath, and to gentle, consistent attention. So even small practices like this can create a real change in how the body moves and holds tension. So whenever you want here, you can release now. And softly coming up into a seated pose. And remember here, the way we hold our body often reflects the way we move through life. And today you practiced softening and you've learned soft strength. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time.